After months of speculations, teasers, spy shots, renders and whatnot, the 5-door version of the Mahindra Thar, the Thar ROXX, is finally here. Now clearly Mahindra thinks there's more potential in this nameplate to explore than it has done already, and that's why it has launched a bigger and more practical version of this SUV. But Mahindra also tells us that there's more to this SUV than just the 2 extra doors, and we are in the city of Kochi in Kerala to find out exactly what that is.
Action.
Now the very first glance is enough to help you distinguish the Thar ROXX from the 3-door version because of the changes and the updates to the design at the front. It all begins with the grille because this is a different 6-slot grille, and interestingly Mahindra likes to call it a 6-pack grille. And the grille also integrates a camera for the 360-degree view system, something that was not seen on the 3-door version. The DRLs here are C-shaped, and an interesting design detail to note here is the fact that while the Mahindra name sits on top of the grille, the Twin Peaks logo is missing. Now when you look at it from the sides, there's no prizes for guessing this is the Thar ROXX because of the 2 extra doors, but there's a lot of interesting design details here, like the fact that if you look above the rear door, there's a cut which continues in a slanting manner onto the C-pillar, and that makes for a very interesting looking appearance from the sides. In fact, Mahindra tells us that this is meant to give it the appearance of a pickup truck. But unlike a lot of other SUVs that we've seen previously internationally as well, this one cannot have its roof detached, and it is a fixed roof. Another interesting design detail to note is the fact that the door handles for the rear doors sit on top and not conventionally. Now one more thing to note here is the fact that while low variants of the Thar ROXX continue to use 18-inch wheels like we have seen on the 3-door Thar, higher variants use bigger 19-inch wheels, and the tire size here is 255 by 60. Of course, this is also in the interest of portraying the Thar ROXX as a more lifestyle SUV and an SUV that's not just a hardcore off-roader. There are a few differences and a few similarities at the rear as well, like the fact that these lines here will help you distinguish this from the 3-door version of the Thar, but at the same time, in keeping with its positioning as a butch and a hardcore SUV, just like the 3-door Thar, the spare wheel sits mounted onto the tailgate here as well. Now, another interesting difference to note is the fact that in keeping with the C-shaped DRLs at the front, the tail lights are C-shaped as well, and of course, the overall larger exterior dimensions of the Thar ROXX mean that you have a far bigger boot here. It opens the same way just like the 3-door Thar, but the boot volume is larger at 644 liters. The interiors of the Thar ROXX offer a plush and a very premium vibe, which is a pleasant surprise, and this is also in keeping with its positioning as an SUV that's trying to strike a balance between being a hardcore off-roader and a lifestyle SUV. And that's why you get a soft touch dashboard, fit finish levels that I would term as excellent, 2 10.25-inch screens, one a touchscreen for the infotainment system and the other the instrument cluster display. Now of course this 10.25-inch instrument cluster display and the steering wheel in the Thar ROXX are straight off the XUV700, and that's again another nod to its premiumness. You also get a split armrest here, the driver's side can slide forward, the window switches have been moved to the door pad. But if there's one thing that I could complain here, I would say I would have wanted some more storage spaces, especially in the center console. The Thar ROXX also comes loaded to the gills, as they say, with features and equipment, and it all starts with something that I've really liked, which is the Harman Kardon audio system that has 9 speakers in this SUV. Then you've got Mahindra's own Adrenox system for the infotainment, and this lets you download a host of apps. And overall, there's so much ongoing here. You've got ventilated front seats, you've got electric adjust for the driver's seat, there's a dedicated switch here on the center console for the electronic locking differential, you've got a Type-C charger which lets you charge at high speeds up to 65 watts, you've got a wireless charging pad, there's wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course one of my favorites, this massive panoramic sunroof. The second row of the Thar ROXX is quite the place to be as well, and that's because I'm just an inch under 6 feet tall, but that's the amount of knee room that I have here, and it's pretty good. I can even tuck my feet all the way under the front seat. That makes it really comfortable. There's a dedicated grab handle here for those off-roading sessions. There's AC vents, there's a Type-C charging port here. The seat back reclines as well, making it a lot more comfortable. And I can even pull out this armrest with cup holders. Expectedly, the Mahindra Thar ROXX is on offer with petrol and diesel engines both, and we're talking Mahindra's popular M Stallion petrol engines and M Hawk diesel engines here. And you can have this SUV with options of 6-speed manual gearboxes or 6-speed torque converter automatics in both versions. But if you're looking to have the Thar ROXX as a proper 4-wheel drive SUV, you'll only have to go in for the diesel because the petrol is on offer as a rear-wheel drive only. The petrol engine on offer in the Thar ROXX is the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine from the M Stallion family that offers either 160 PS or 174 PS depending on the variant that you look at. But what we are driving today is the Thar ROXX powered by the 2.2-liter 4-cylinder M Hawk diesel engine. This is the manual version with a 4-wheel drive system, and the outputs for this one are 150 PS and 330 Newton meters. Having said that, if you were to look at the automatic version, which uses a 6-speed torque converter, you would get 172 PS along with 370 Newton meters.
The 2.2-liter M Hawk engine is one that we're familiar with, and while it does impress with its performance and linear torque delivery without much turbo lag, the bigger highlight in the case of the Thar ROXX is its refinement and the low NVH levels. Cabin insulation inside this SUV is also good, which coupled with the engine's refinement will almost have you wondering whether it is a petrol engine or a diesel. And besides impressing at low speeds, the engine also offers excellent performance on the highway and feels unstressed even above 100 km per hour, which means it is perfect for driving in bumper-to-bumper traffic and stretching its legs on open roads too.
But while the powertrains in the Thar ROXX are as impressive as we've seen in a lot of new-age Mahindra SUVs, the bigger highlight about this SUV to me has to be its excellent ride quality and even the handling that the Thar ROXX has.
And its impressive road manners are of course courtesy its suspension setup. The Thar ROXX uses an independent setup at the front, including double wishbones and coil springs with frequency-dependent damping, while the rear suspension setup includes a rigid axle with coil springs and a Watts linkage with frequency-dependent damping. More importantly, the Thar ROXX uses hydraulic rebound stoppers at the rear, which is a segment first and helps the SUV big time in delivering the excellent ride quality it boasts. In fact, the kind of balance the Thar ROXX is able to offer between an excellent ride quality and confident handling is almost surprising.
The Thar ROXX also comes equipped with Level 2 ADAS and includes 10 features like forward collision avoidance, emergency braking and more. But more importantly, Mahindra tells us that the ADAS on this SUV has been tuned and tweaked specifically for Indian driving conditions. Now, while it may be pegged as a lifestyle SUV as well, the Thar ROXX is still a proper hardcore off-roader, and it certainly has numbers to back it up. And that includes an approach angle of 41.7 degrees, a departure angle of 36.1 degrees and a water wading depth of 650 mm.
Unfortunately, despite Mahindra creating a dedicated off-roading track for us, given the limited amount of time to shoot and review the Thar ROXX, we were unable to experience the SUV off-road. So how the Thar ROXX performs off-road, especially as compared to the 3-door version, given its higher curb weight and longer wheelbase both, is something we are hoping to tell you soon.
With so much on offer and so much going for it, the Mahindra Thar ROXX is certainly a very compelling package. But more importantly, it's the pricing that will really shock you. And that's because the base petrol retails at 12.99 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And that's the version with a manual gearbox and rear-wheel drive only. And its diesel equivalent with a manual gearbox and rear-wheel drive only again is priced at just rupees 13.99 lakh ex-showroom. Mahindra is yet to announce prices for the entire variant lineup, but these starting prices are so good that a lot of buyers are sure to sit up, take notice, and even consider the Thar ROXX as a family SUV. And I'm talking people who are probably looking at compact SUVs or even mid-size SUVs like the Hyundai Creta, the Kia Seltos, the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara, and a lot more. So while I started this video by saying that the Thar ROXX is the most hotly anticipated launch of 2024, I'd like to end this video by saying that this is also probably the biggest disruptor of 2024.